Hey gamer, this is your one and only warning that location spoilers will be present in this video. If you've not completed all the expansions up until Endwalker, it's in your best interest to come back later. Can't say I didn't warn you. Hello, and welcome to yet another video about the ever so niche community in Final Fantasy XIV, hunting. While I have done videos on both S ranks and hunt trains, I felt it best to give another generic guide on hunting from the perspective of a veteran hunter. Not to diss any other videos out there, but certain unwritten rules often go unlooked. Originally, this video was going to be one whole chunk, but upon recording, I saw it was going to be nearly 20 minutes and decided to split it up. For this one, we will be focusing solely on getting started in hunting and what hunts are. We'll get into the community aspect in the next one. So, what is the hunt and how did it come to be? The hunt was introduced in A Realm Reborn in patch 2.3. What's an MMO without some big scary world bosses to fight every few hours? Now, I haven't seen with my own eyes any official articles, but word gets passed around the community that our Lord and Savior Yoshi P did not intend for hunts to be handled in the way they are, at least hunt trains. Yoshi P wanted people to kinda call their friends and take A-rank hunts down when they spotted them. Allegedly. But, because we have a generation of folks who were taught sharing is caring, we said, what if we waited for them all to spawn, grabbed everyone we knew, and killed them all together? By this point, Essie probably thought it was too late to decide stepping in was a good idea. Many attempts at the hunt community trying to ask for better quality of life changes have been met with the devs' vague wish to have players communicate with one another, leaving the intent somewhat up into interpretation. It is these lax rules that have allowed the hunt community to grow as big as they have all over the world. Hunt communities are something you can find on every data center. There are servers for these communities that have membership that raise well into the thousands. These communities have grown so large as they provide a service at no extra cost except for people's own patience. By being willing to wait, people can coordinate efforts surrounding hunts better, and everyone as a whole gets to reap more rewards as opposed to only a handful of people getting them. Surely you're wondering what some of these hunt community benefits are. Well, most communities are neat and welcoming. The majority of hunt communities you encounter are very welcoming and eager to help. Hunters are always wanting to bring more people into the fold, because we want as many people as possible to win. Whether you lurk quietly in a hunt Discord or engage in chatting in their channels, you will find most people are very kind. There's no getting around that it's by far the fastest and most efficient way to get rewards. We all get tired of running expert and having to focus heal our tanks and rescue our DPS from AoEs. Whether you stick to just A ranks or S ranks, you'll find yourself capping much faster. There's no limit how much you hunt except for your own sanity. Of course, you will hit your cap on limited tomestones, but as far as hunt currency, you can hunt until you can't take it anymore. Aside from those things, there are other small benefits. There are glams and mounts locked behind hunt currency, and there are hunt-specific achievements if that's your thing. You also get to go around killing big monsters, which I think is pretty cool, considering there's little reason to head out into the overworld when there's no MSQ going on. So if that all sounds attractive, you're probably wondering, well, how do I get my start? Not to worry, gamers, I've got you. We all start somewhere when we're fledgling hunters, and I'm here to help start your journey. Everyone unlocks hunts from the very start at their Grand Company. To unlock hunts with your Grand Company, you must also be a level 50 Disciple of Magic or War, and also be ranked a Second Lieutenant in your Grand Company. To get Second Lieutenant, you complete Rank 2 of your Grand Company hunting log, completing Aurum Vale, and coughing up 9,000 of your Grand Company seals. Doing this will also unlock the hunt in Party Finder. On most DCs, people prefer to join in on hunts via Party Finder, so it's in your best interest to get this done. Once you unlock ARR hunts, from here on out you must go to the main city of each expansion and unlock hunts for that expansion. These cities are Ishgard, Kugane, and the Crystarium, and Old Charlayan respectively. Heavensward onward, you unlock new tiers of the hunt every 2 to 3 levels or so it's good to check back in. You cannot receive hunt currency until you finish those quests, so make sure you complete them. After you've completed the quest, there's one last thing to keep in mind. Hunts are considered in-game content, due to how the rewards are given. In order to receive full rewards when you kill a hunt, you need to be at least max level for that given expansion. For instance, if you kill a Stormblood hunt at level 70 or higher, you will receive all the rewards. Any lower and you don't get much of anything. One last note is that you can receive the old tomes from old hunts as well. As of right now, the current expansion is Endwalker, the limited tomes are Astronomy and the old tomes are Aphorism. If I kill a hunt in Shadowbringers at level 80, I will get all the level 80 rewards, but no Aphorism. However, if I use a level 90 job, I can get Aphorism tomes as well, as Aphorism buys level 90 gear. This is why hunting is strongly regarded as end game. You gain more rewards by being max level and having finished your MSQ. Once you start actively hunting, you'll want to keep track of how much currency you get, as the more often you do it, the faster you'll fill up. Moving on, let's talk about the hunt board. The hunt board at every Huntmaster isn't just for show. Outside of trains and S ranks, they do serve a genuine purpose. At the hunt board, you can take on two kinds of hunting: daily hunts and weekly hunts. Daily marks can be once a day. Starting in Heavensward, they are divided into 3 types, levels 1, 2, and 3. They're incredibly simple and straightforward. You are given a group of enemies in the overworld to go hunt down and kill. You can only receive hunt bills for that expansion depending on what board you're at. You cannot get Endwalker marks at the hunt board in Kugane. Daily marks are good if you need a little extra experience to help level your combat classes. Successful completion of hunt bills reward hunt currency, gil, and of course, experience. You get a little experience per mark, then 1 chunk of experience and nuts once you kill that group. These are good to bring your chocobo on if you're working on leveling them as well. If you're not over familiar with what mobs are on what maps, you can click on the little arrow on the hunt bill and it will give you a general idea of where to look. Keep in mind that these can be pretty broad and you genuinely will have to hunt. Thankfully, there are also some websites that list exact mob locations that I'll leave in the description below. If you're looking for more nuts and less XP, you want to take on your weekly marks, also known as elite marks. Keep in mind that A and S ranks are also considered elite marks, but they do not require any bills to take on. Elite marks from the board specifically refer to B ranks. B ranks are easily identifiable by a few main characteristics. They all have unique names, are slightly larger than the mobs that look like them, and have blue aggression markers. As you're probably familiar with, blue markers mean the mob is not aggressive and will not attack unless attacked. In ARR, there is 1 per map, and for Heavensward Onward, there are 2 per map. They respawn every 5 seconds or so since they are weekly marks being hunted down by other players. They're not nearly as strong as their A rank counterparts, but will still kill you if you're not max level with decent gear at the very least. Killing them outside of your weekly hunt bill provides no direct benefit. They drop no gear or loot or anything of the sort. Once you've picked up your weekly mark from the hunt board, it's as easy as teleporting to the map where your B rank can be found. In Shadowbringers, they added an on-screen message that will let you know when you're getting close to your target. This is because unlike daily marks, B ranks can spawn on multiple places on the map, not just a set location. But that's not to say they can spawn just anywhere. Unlike daily marks, while they spawn at multiple places on the map, these spots are set in stone as well. You can find B rank locations on multiple hunt websites, which I'll also put in the description below. For a successful kill on your target, you get 100 of whatever currency the bill is for, and a bit of gil. B ranks are good for people who need just a teeny bit more nuts if there's something they're trying to go for. You can do these once a week. If you're more of a thrill seeker and looking for bigger rewards and even bigger monsters, look no further than the elite marks that are A and S ranks. These marks give the most rewards and as a result are stronger and tougher than daily and weekly marks. Most commonly heard of are A ranks. In ARR, there is 1 A rank per map, while Heavensward Onward, there are 2 per map. They can be identified that they are noticeably larger than the other mobs in the overworld, and also have a different aggression marker as well. They are usually models of old bosses, emphasis on the usually. As a result, they often share some watered down mechanics of those bosses as well, so you can have an idea of what to expect. Like B ranks, they respawn after a certain amount of time has passed, except their cooldown window is much longer. To simplify things, A ranks Heavensward Onward spawn every 6 hours. They require no bills and can be killed once found. These do redrop rewards upon death, primarily tomes and hunt currency. Unlike daily marks, they give no experience, or at least no experience to be worth anything. A ranks of the current expansion are usually reserved for hunt trains on almost every data center. While I will always spread the good word of hunt trains, there is nothing in the game's terms of service that says you cannot kill these outside of trains. But I feel it fair to warn you to not expect a lot of people to like you if you do. To be brief, hunt trains are where, instead of calling the A rank as soon as they're found, they are left alone until all 12 spawn. Scouters scout their locations and give them to the conductor who tells people where to meet up. Once everyone's partied up, the conductor shouts the location of each A rank, and riders simply follow along and kill each one. Hunt trains are a huge coordination effort done by multiple people and a mutual agreement between both riders and conductors. In exchange for your patience in not killing the hunt, the conductors can provide an easy service for hundreds of players. A ranks from older X packs such as Shadowbringers and Stormblood still have trains run, but the usual rule is that old hunts are considered free game. If you want to learn more about hunt trains, I'll link a video to where I go about it in depth in the description below. Now, if you want to go even bigger, then you have to go and fight S-ranks. They are meaty and deadly no matter the expansion. An S-rank from ARR can still kill you even if you're level 60. The higher your level, the higher your chance of survival. There are some easy ways to identify an S-rank from an A-rank. Though they share the same aggression marker, these can be seen no matter where you are on the map as they have high render priority. In 5.0, they also added the on-screen message "You sense the presence of a powerful mark." If it is also incredibly large, you've most likely got an S-rank. There is only one S-rank per zone in every expansion. Since these are the biggest and baddest, these give the most rewards, and as a result have a cooldown of several days rather than hours. These also do not spawn on their own, save for a few special cases. These can only be spawned by a player successfully performing their trigger. Due to these long windows and the fact they're spawned by triggers, they cannot be saved for hunt trains. Once spawned, they are called out in hunt discords and link shells and killed soon after. One small addition given to us in Shadowbringers was the devs adding the S+ or SS rank. Upon the death of an S rank in a Shadowbringer or Endwalker zone, it has a chance of proccing S+ rank minions. 4 minions that equal the strength of a B rank spawn at static locations on the map. These will never change. They must all be engaged within 5 minutes of them spawning. They do have moves that do one-shot if you're not careful, so try not to engage them alone because if you die and it resets, the entire operation fails. Once all 4 minions have been killed, the S+ spawns at a set location on the map, and so far these are even stronger than S ranks. For killing one of these, you can get 400 nuts, as long as you remember to keep your nutsack empty with plenty of room. Always make sure you check for the minion prompt before disbanding a party after an S rank. If you'd like to know more about S ranks and how they work, I'll add a link to my spawning video below. For now, that will be all for this video. If I've managed to hold your attention this long and you're interested in joining in on the hunt community, make sure to be on the lookout for my next video for some tips that should help you from making any social faux pas. Until next time, this has been Spectre, and I'll see you in the next video.